I'm Vicki Hall with Denver Home Finder Service, and I want to talk to you about earnest money. So you've been looking with your buyer's agent and you have finally found the perfect home. You're sitting down and you're writing a contract, and your buyer's agent asks you to write an earnest money check. So you pull out your checkbook and use your hard-earned dollars, and you hand your buyer's agent the check. And you're wondering, what the heck happens to this check? Well, for the most part, the buyer's agent holds the check while you're negotiating with the seller. If you reach an agreement, then the buyer's agent has 24 hours to get that earnest money check over to the listing agent. And then the listing agent has 24 hours to actually put that money into an escrow account so that they can see that the funds are good funds. If you do not reach an agreement with the seller, then your buyer's agent returns the check to you. So let's assume that you have reached an agreement and you're proceeding along through the transaction. And say you do an inspection and you find out some issues that were not known beforehand, and you decide that you don't want to go forward with this house. So then you terminate the contract. There's a spot in the inspection report where you can legally terminate the contract, and then you ask for your earnest money back. And then the listing agent will give you back your earnest money. What if you get up to the moment of closing, or let's say the day before closing, and you find out that you're being transferred to St. Louis? You obviously don't want to buy a house in Denver if you're being transferred to St. Louis. So if you were to terminate the contract at that time, it would most likely be a default on the contract. And most of the time when you default on the contract, you lose your earnest money. But let's say everything's going smoothly. You go along, make it through inspection and appraisal, and go ahead to closing. So how does that money enter into the closing statement? Well, let's say that you have to bring $12,000 total for down payment, closing costs, and your earnest money check was for $2,000. Well, the title company will credit that $2,000 towards the $12,000 and ask you to bring $10,000 to closing. So that's the story about earnest money. I'm Vicki Hall with Denver Home Finder Service.